Hi guys, BikerKaz here. Now, as you know, it's not very pleasant outside. There's a bit of ice and snow out there, so it's garage time, and you know how much I love that. But I've got a ER-5 new bike that came a couple of weeks ago, and that's what I should be riding during the winter, but it hasn't got heated grips. So my first job is to put heated grips on because my hands do suffer. So I've got these Oxford Hot Grips Evo that I am going to put on the bike myself. So I'm going to walk through with you how to fit them onto the bike, and then hopefully it will be super simple and I can get out on my bike. See what is in the box. If I can get it out the box. That might be my first hurdle. Right. The all important fitting instructions. I'm going to need that. Then we get the grips for either side. There's a controller here, unit here. You can see that. And wires. More wires. They look like brackets to me. I'm no expert, by the way. And this looks like the glue, hot grip super glue, and some cable ties. So that's what you get in the box. A bit worried about all the amount of wires and this, but don't mind. This is what these are for. So let's have a look, see what we should do first, shall we? Right, now I must just stress here that I am in no way an expert in the garage, like not even coming close to it. So if these fitting instructions are really important to you, please do check, and if so, seek proper guidance from somebody that actually knows what they're doing. This is just me in the garage showing you that I can fit these to my bike and that they are relatively simple to fit. Okay, so please bear that in mind. So now we have to fit the bracket, which is this bit, to the bike, so we can put the controller on. Okay, so that's the bracket, that's the controller, and that goes on the bike. So where I'm going to put it on the bike, if you see this, the bolts that hold the clutch cable on here, I'm going to undo these, and if you see, that fits very neatly there. Now these bolts won't be long enough because we're adding the bracket to it, so we have to fit a new bolt that comes in the pack with a spacer. If you can see that spacer. Okay, so that's what we should be doing. So I'm going to undo these bolts and then bolt these on and then bolt that on. So shall I see how that goes? So I forgot, we have to actually connect the controller to the bracket first because we can't do that in situ. So it comes with a sticky pad that goes on here, see there, and then the bracket, and then that attaches to that. So I'm just going to fit that on there before I start unscrewing things and losing bolts. Right, so we're back at the bench. So I've got to stick this stick pad onto here. Okay, the stick pad, it goes on here, and then the controller goes on there, which is then screwed on with some little screws. But the idea also of the stick pad is that it's for vibration, so it stops it from vibrating too much. So it does have a dual purpose. So peel off the stick pad, stick it onto there. God, I can do this bit really easily. Still peel off the other stick bit, and then the controller on here. Then we have to line up these holes on the back because we have to screw them in. So if I just make sure that they're lined up. Right, so we're putting these little screws in the back here. They are a little bit fiddly because they are very small. And let's just get them started, and then the other little one. They are very little screws, very easy to lose if you're not careful. Fit this bracket, okay? So what we have to do is undo these 2 bolts on here. I'm just going to get them started, and then so let's see. I've got my handy little thing on the back. Right, and this is where you need free hands, so I'm going to put that down. So I've got to get my thing. Oh, hang on, I've got to put a washer on, which is here. Minnie, you might have to help me. The dog might have to help me. I am running out of hands. Minnie, you going to help? No. Right, so I put my washer on, and I've popped that through there, and then I've got to get my spacer, which is on the back. Hold on, put that on the back. God, look, magic. Right, and then I put that on there. And then I'll just get that one started, and it might make it easier to do the other one. I'll just... Wow! Magical! I've done it! I'm sure that the clutch loop is going to be in the wrong place, but I'm not going to worry about that just a minute. Right. Hey, how cool is that? Wow. Just got to wire it in. This is the grip bit. So we got 2 grips, and luckily for us, or for me anyway, they are labelled right and left. So apparently that's very important because they are a different size. Okay, so you've got to get them on the right way round. The right one is slightly bigger because you've got it's the throttle bit. So what we have to do is take the bar ends out. There we go. 1 bar end. I'll pop that in there. Now, apparently there's a trick to getting the grip off. Now, some people slice the grip, cut it, and then pull it off that way. My other half doesn't like to do that because he said if the job doesn't go well for whatever reason, you still got a grip that you can put back on and still have use of the bike. So this is what he says to do. So I've got to get my screwdriver and have to stick this right up here, in here like this. I know. This is to undo the glue. So obviously the grips are glued on. So we'll put that in there, and then you've got your can of WD-40 with your little nozzle, and then squirt that in there, and then squirt that along like that, and then I have to go around like this, the screwdriver all the way around the grip to undo the glue. And let's see if it works. We just, oh, there you go, I've got the end of the grip there. Wow, it worked! Wow, amazing. So if the job doesn't go right for whatever reason, I've got a grip I can put back on. So just got to clean that up and then we'll do the other side. Right, so I've got the grip off and there was glue on the bar end where the grip was, so we've got to make sure you get all the glue off because you don't want any residue, and then also because we use WD-40, obviously the grip, the glue won't stick with that one, so you just got to make sure we get it all off. So I've got a bit of brake cleaner on a tissue and just give it a good wipe. Make sure there's nothing left, no residue left of either glue or WD-40 on there. Okay. There we go. Voila. Right, so I've cleaned my grip up. That's all nice and clean now. All the glue's gone and all the WD-40, so that's good. So our next step is to put the glue onto the bar here and put the grip on. Now we're using super glue. Oxford supply their own super glue, which comes in the pack, which is really good. Now we use super glue because it does, the grip will obviously get hot, but it won't melt the super glue. If you use any other glue, it might melt it. So stick to the glue that's in the pot. Okay, so we've got to put some of this on here. All around the bar. Obviously we only get one pot, so this has got to do 2 bars. So, okay. I think that's enough on there. So I'll just put my lid back on. Don't want that leaking. And now, once you start putting your grip on, apparently you've only got 5 seconds to get it on before it will set. So this is like a one-shot thing. So I've got to try and get this in the right place. So here we go. Let's just. There we go. I think that's about right. So I've got my grip on. Sometimes you might have to trim the end of the grip here to get your bar end back on, but this one does actually fit, so that's good. So I've got to put this back in here and then just do it all the way back up again. There we go. Wow, that's done. Well, apart from the wiring, but you know, baby steps and all that, but I'm so pleased I managed to do that. So, same for the left side now. The left side, basically, I've got to repeat everything I did on the right side. So here's the grip. I'll just check it has got the L on it just before I go any further. So, first bit, bar end. So I fitted the grips, see here, like this. Now they've got wires, as you can see here and here. So the wires from the grips, one each, goes into here and the other one into there. And then this third wire attaches into here. Now that is all very simple, and then we've attached those two to the batteries. Very, very simple. Now what I like with the Oxford grips is that they turn themselves off if you leave them on, which is why I like them. I have them on my other bikes and I'm always leaving my grips on when I walk away from my bike, and they do turn themselves off. So what they do is they sense a slight drop in the voltage and turn themselves off. If you don't have the grips that do this, you can actually wire them into a circuit that goes off with the ignition, but you would then need to use a relay. So this is why I particularly like the Oxford ones, because I haven't got to do any of that, because that's probably beyond my level. But this is so easy. So clip, 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 and then battery. So what we've got to do is get the seat off. So it's just, she says, I can't get the seat off. Minnie, can you get my seat off for me? Can you help me? No? Okay, the dog is just useless. So let me see if I can get my seat off. Right, obviously we had to cut that bit there because I could not get my seat off and Minnie was no use whatsoever. So I have, here's one I did earlier. So here's the seat off. So I'll just pop that on the floor, and the battery is under here. So I just got to get a couple of screwdriver and undo a couple of screws, and then get to the battery. So let me find a screwdriver. I've got to put these on either side of the battery on here. So I just got to let's see if that screwdriver will fit. Red onto that one, black onto that one, in theory. It really is as simple as just doing that. Like, this is what I love about the Oxford grip, is that they are so simple to do, that, you know, even I can do them, and I am an absolute novice in the garage. So we connected the cables, and then we connect these. So obviously you can't go along on your bike with the cables hanging out. So what we've now got to do is lose these cables somewhere under the tank, maybe, or in the body rack. So I think I might have to take the tank off. Right, so I've got my tank up. I've wedged it up with a little bit of wood. Probably not the best thing to do, but I have to improvise. So it's very precarious, to be careful. And I've taken my side panel off. So the wires from the battery come here. So I've just threaded it through there. And then I've connected the 2-pin here. And then the 2 3-pins. So these are waterproof connectors, which is really good, really handy, obviously on a bike. So now I've just got to thread them through down to the wiring loom and then neaten it all back up. So we do need to cable tie these bits. So I've got my cable ties, which are down here. So these are supplied in the packet. So we've got to put the cable tie on here for the wire. So you got to just check before you do that you've got enough wire to go round. So if I pop that on there, you can tell my dog is useless in the garage because she's now gone to sleep. So that's there. And now let me just check. I've connected the wires. Let me just check this works before I go any further. It does. Wow, it works. Let's get my wires in and my tank back down before I knock it off, because that would be not very good. Right, so I've got my tank back on. So that's good, because I didn't like that being up. Now I've put my cable ties on here, but just check it before you finish up, just to make sure that nothing's fouling. So that's good, we've done a good job there. So the last thing to do is put the battery cover back on. So I'll put that back in there. Right, so I started the bike up, just put the grips on just to check, and they are getting really hot actually, really nice and warm. They do feel nice. I'm so looking forward to getting back out on the bike and having hot hands again. Wow, isn't that amazing? So honestly, that was so easy to fit. You might need a hand holding the tank up, you might need another pair of hands. As you can see, my dog has gone to sleep, so she was no use at all. What's your Minnie? Thanks, Min. But if you do have trouble with anything, then please seek professional advice, because I'm not an expert. But I hope you've enjoyed my video. I just wanted to show you how easy they are to fit, and I'm really pleased with them. And I do like the Oxford products heated grips, because they do turn themselves off, because I'm always leaving mine on when I walk away from the bike. But no, they're really good. So I hope you've enjoyed my video. Please subscribe to my channel. That would be really good and really helpful for me. If you like my beanie hat, you can find these on my website. That would be great if you could, under the merch section. That would be really good. And then they are really nice quality, and they do keep you really warm, and the neck buffs too. But thank you for joining me in the garage today, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks.